Okay, you guys, so you're not living under a rock. You've heard about a little thing called Venmo. I'm sure you use it every day. I'm sure you have a list of friends on there. But did you know that Venmo can be used for more than just paying your friends back? Yep, it is true. Allow me to introduce you to the Venmo Debit Card, which allows you to spend your Venmo balance in so many ways. Yep, you can Venmo this, that, and everything. No, seriously, everything. If you can shop for it, you can pay for it with the Venmo Debit Card. I can Venmo this mic that I'm speaking into, these headphones, this coffee that I'm drinking, the workout class that I'm going to right after this. Okay. You get the point. You could pay with a Venmo debit card for everything. This is unlocking an all new way to use Venmo. Like you got paid back by your friends, right? You went out to drinks, you got paid back. Use that balance to pay for your ride home. You sold a pair of shoes, use that balance to buy new shoes. Not to mention, this debit card is super chic, comes in a whole bunch of vibey colors, so you can pick one that matches your style. And I love that. Venmo everything with a Venmo debit card. Visit venmo.me/debit to learn more and sign up today. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card might be used everywhere. MasterCard is accepted.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's start.
Okay.
Let's start talking.
Okay.
Your kids are so cute. I can't wait to do a play date.
Oh my God, I know. Well, you're here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
So you're not like showing a lot of New York content in your like
because I've been working nonstop.
That is true.
But I had that one with my kid. I don't know if you saw that one where he was like walking through the street.
No, I saw that, and
we can talk about that. My family's so loud. I'm so loud.
I'm so loud. You're not loud. You're soft spoken.
I've become softer in my speaking only over the last few years. Truly, with everything going on, I just kind of just because you have to go through cancer, I think, to be like, nothing is really that serious anymore. Truly, but I used to talk like this all the time, and I still will have moments like that, and I'll think like I'll turn to John and want to say something that's like secretive, but I'll be talking to him like this.
Yeah.
Olivia, they can hear you. I'm like, no, they're not. They don't even care.
That's what I always say.
And then sure enough, like they
heard.
You. Yeah. But I'm always thinking, are people I'm not listening to other people's conversations. I'm doing my own thing.
I do that, which my husband hates because he's the most shy, anxious, like whole thing that people are looking at him when they're not. And I'm like talking loud, like no one's listening. So I need you to teach me your ways because my dream in life is to be soft spoken and mysterious like you.
Oh, I don't know if I'm mysterious. Do you think I'm mysterious?
You're a little mystery.
Oh, what do you think is mysterious?
Like we see you, but like I feel like you're not like one of those front face to camera, hey guys, But when you give it, it's like just a little, like here's a taste. Okay. Here's a taste.
Appreciate that.
Of me and my glasses at home being all perfect, blonde hair.
Like, when people are in the middle of crying and then they turn on their camera and then they make a video in the middle of them crying, like those always make me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, so you can't do it.
Well, no, I would never do that. But then there was one time back in December and John had just started on Broadway and he was doing all these rehearsals and it was non-stop work for him. And I had our brand new baby girl and then our son who just turned 3 and now also has a new baby into the mix. And then daddy's not around and he spends so much time with him. And then it was like one of the hardest moments of my life. That 2-week period was so difficult. And then I broke down crying one night and I literally turned my phone camera on. But I only did video messages to my other 2 girlfriends who have children. Like one was about to have a child and had a son the same age as mine. And then another one was like just had theirs. And so I was like, this is what's to come. And I'm just telling you, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I just was like, it felt so cathartic to send that to my friends. But that's not something I would ever post.
But do you know how much engagement it would get? Fucking crazy. I'm just telling you. And then you realize, because I see like mommy bloggers, like the straight up ones.
Yeah.
The ones that only post like things about kids. And like kids and family are such a hot topic and everyone's interested in how everyone's doing things. Like what baby carrier. I remember you posted that, by the way, because I related to that so much, where you were like, I always pictured myself like being cute with my baby.
With
And
the wrap?
Correct.
That is so difficult. May is 8 months old, but she weighs more than 12-month-old.
How much does she weigh?
She's 22, 23 right now, pounds.
Damn.
I know.
I'm wondering what's Lenny. Well, the last time I weighed him, he was 20 pounds.
How old is
She's
he
8.
now?
He just turned 1.
Yeah, he's 8 months. She's 8 months, yeah. I know.
Chubby
she's so
babies are so
squishy.
cute. Was Malcolm this chubby? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was very chubby. He looked like he was going to explode. He was like so shiny. She's got more of a squishy kind of chunk to her, and it's they're both very easy, very happy babies.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
So Malcolm started going through like the toddler phase because we talked about, you posted that video of him walking barefoot in New York. But I gave that as an example because I think that day like my kid was being difficult, and it was like, what do you do like in that moment? And then you flash back to all these reels that you've watched of like
Mhm.
what to do, gentle parenting
Mhm,
style, what
mhm,
to do
mhm.
more aggressively, like what your mom did probably was like, shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
And then you don't know what to do. But there was a moment where Noah was throwing a tantrum, and I remember that. I was like, literally, Olivia Munn let her child walk barefoot in New York because he was throwing a tantrum. And like, pick your battles.
Mhm.
He was happy. It's not dangerous, even though maybe
Yeah.
somewhat. Did you get any messages that were like, how did you let him? I mean, it was soft.
I didn't see any of those until like I saw some news article that came up that was like fans are mom shaming Olivia, and it took so long to find that comment. I'm like, what are people because everybody else was like, I get it. And then there's somebody that was like, oh, like she has help. Who's taking that photo? And yes, we have people who help us, but the way that our parenting style is that if we are there, we spend the time with our child.
Yeah.
We take the walks with them. In this particular situation, I was by myself with Malcolm in a stroller with May strapped to me. And he's usually so easygoing. He loves going out. And I tempted him with all the things he loves. Let's go to CVS, which is his Disney World.
I know you told me that once,
Yeah.
and like you keep coming back to it. So I'm like, wow, that's stuck.
Because so many parents will say, like, have you taken them to Disneyland, Disney World? I go, why? Why would I do that to myself when CVS is on every corner?
What does he like there?
Every
go to the toy aisle.
He likes makeup sponges. He likes the car. They have this big car rack of like different, like
it's so fun.
It's like
wait. So what do you do in LA? Drive to one, or it's a
drive to a CVS. I literally go. I've gone to CVS so much in my life, and then when I'm there, I pick up some makeup for myself.
Yeah. There's always something to buy.
Yeah. But that day I was outside the CVS. And he had just thrown the biggest tantrum. The other thing I didn't put in was that he needed to go to the bathroom as soon as we get there. And I go into this really big CVS, and they said there's no bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
Liars.
no bathroom in
You're
here?
like, where do you pee?
It was insane.
Yeah.
Where do you pee? There has to be an employee bathroom.
Yeah, right.
So then
for a kid, a lot of times I feel like they make the exception, but they didn't.
No.
Okay.
And then I had to take him into like a deli that was right on the corner and buy a sandwich and then, and then put it away. But then when I came out, one of my girlfriends had called me and I was like, this is so difficult right now. And I'm going to break down. And she's like, where are you? And I was like, I'm on the corner of whatever it was. And she jumped into Uber, came, got me. And then he didn't want to look at her. He was like, only my mommy. And then I was like, she's like, well, how can I help? And then she's like, what about, can I carry May for you? And then Malcolm is like, no, only mommy. And like, I know that you're not supposed to let your kids like dictate everything, but it was so hard that day.
Yeah.
And so at first he let her push the stroller. And then that's when she got that photo of me.
Oh.
But she had to stay behind us and couldn't interact with us, he said. Now, I'm making him seem, but he's a 3-year-old. He's a 3-year-old
tyrant
emperor.
No. By the way, like, if you have kids, like, it's one of those things that maybe to people, and by the way, I wondered this about you because I admit this, like, before I had kids, I was so judgmental. I did like, I would never do that. And like, I will do this with them. Or like, I would see my sister doing things and be like, how does she let her kid tell her what to do? Like, and then you are in the situation and it's like survival mode. Like, we left my sister's house yesterday with a plate. I walked home with a plate because that was the only way to get Noah to leave. And it's like they fuck with you because he didn't really want the plate. He was just like, I'm not going to make this easy,
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. And he's like, only if I can take the plate.
Right.
I'm like, what do I want? A screaming, crying tantrum or a let's go? So I literally walk home with a plate.
I called my pediatrician when I got back and I was like, hey, This is what happened. We walked through the streets of New York for a very long time, for over a mile. And I stupidly thought that those little rubber things on the bottom of
Oh, yeah, the
socks
grip.
would be enough to protect his feet. And when we got there, I went to go take off his socks. And then I saw that there was like grid marks, like a honeycomb grid mark, like in black on his heel. And I thought, oh my God, what? And then I called her and she said, did you walk around on the streets without shoes? I'm like, yes, I was born in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in Tokyo. We literally were in the streets of Tokyo, like crossing busy intersections with no shoes, no parents, just literally like 8-year-olds walking around. And she's like, he's fine. He's fine. And that's why I didn't see any negative feedback until like there's one place that wanted to make it into something. But
Right.
I didn't have, I don't think I've ever had the judgment for other mothers like that because my mom was, she was a mother of 5 by the time she was 27. She was raising 2 stepchildren. And of course, when you're younger, I'm like, my mom is a tiger mom and she's so scary and she's yelling all the time. But as you get older, you're like, man, you were only 27 when you had to deal with like.
Wait, you have 4 brothers and sisters, including 2 of them were a step or plus 2 step?
So it's a stepbrother, stepsister, and then 2 blood siblings, sister and brother.
That's crazy.
I know. Can you imagine being 27 and going through that? And so I think I have a harder time with the friends who want to offer advice as if their life is so perfect. Like I was going through this tantrum phase with Malcolm, and I called one of my friends who has 3 children and around the same ages. And I said, what do you do? What am I supposed to do? And I was like on the verge of tears. And she says, we didn't really have that problem.
Bye.
I was so mad. I was like, you don't. She's like, no, none of my kids have really thrown tantrums. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's like, but you know what I think you should do? If you really come up with like a more structured schedule, like they really need to know what's happening. They need to like anticipate things. So like when you keep their structure really solid and they know what's happening in their schedule, then there's no more anxiety. And I was like, I am. There's a nap time. There's a structure. There are alarms on my phone that tells me what to do. But then you try to like tell an emperor what to do.
Wait, but I'm trying to, okay. So you said both of them were like chill, easygoing babies. Then now he's an emperor, or like he has an emperor's side to him?
So here's the problem is that at that time, so John and him
emperor.
It's
funny.
It is. We're under the ruling of an emperor.
Yeah.
John spends a lot of time with Malcolm. We both do, but there's this special bond that they have. And when John started going on to Broadway, it was the first 2 weeks were just rehearsals all the time and then like previews and all that. And then I think it was hard for Malcolm to like not have as much time with his dad. Even if it's just for 2 weeks, it was too much. And then I started filming the second season of my show at the same time John is filming his Netflix show, which was this live show that he was doing once a week for 3 months. And I had Malcolm and the kids come with me and John would come in and out. Then Malcolm would just be throwing so many tantrums when John was gone. And it was all directed at me. And then when John would come back the first 2 days, it would be Malcolm still throwing the biggest fits. And then after the second day, I think he realized like, oh, dad's here and mom's here. And then, and then he felt calm before. And then, so then I was like, okay, for some reason, Malcolm needs to see you every single day. And I love that for both of them. And so I'm going to be the one flying in and out from New York. So I'll fly in and work for 2 days and then fly home and be there for like a day and a half and then fly back. But it was, I'm telling you, it was exhausting.
You did that for the emperor. That's crazy. That is so much that's because you're working,
Mm-hmm.
So second season of your show, we're talking Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yeah.
So already filming or already done?
Filming right now. Still filming through the end of summer. I'll be here through the end of September in New York, where we get to be friends out finally.
Could you imagine May and Lenny on like a mat?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cute.
So cute. Her name means plum in Chinese. And if you take the accent off the E and you say May, it means little sister. So we call her May too.
I love that name.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was one of my names like spelled the American way.
May?
Yeah, all the girls that I thought I was having.
I know. Do you think you're done? You're not going to go again for a girl? When you said that, we talked about this already, but when you said the thing about you hope your sons marry orphans, it was so spot on. I told John before, I was like, there's this fear that any of your children will want to literally leave and not spend any of the significant moments with you anymore, which is understandable because look at us. We all grow up and we have our own families. And so I said to John, okay, we need to have the most epic vacations and do the best holidays so that our kids will always want to come home. It'll feel so nostalgic. And we have to let all their friends come whenever they want. Like you want to bring them on vacation? Let's go. Come over for Thanksgiving, Christmas. We don't care.
No, we were talking about this. Like have the best snack cabinets at your house. Like all the fucking things. Yeah. It is something to think about.
No, we don't want to have the home where there's no structure.
Yeah.
Because John is the heavy and I am like it's okay. You can do this.
Oh yeah. Okay. I would see it the other way.
I know.
Probably most people think
because
that.
He was a drug addict.
He's chill. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's John's house. Like,
his family, he has a wonderful family, and his dad was a lawyer and his mom was a law professor, and they were just like really structured, and there was just, now we had discipline in our household, but we were wild, but disciplined.
Yeah.
My mom didn't care if we all fought each other. We were put into karate really early on, and it was just
You have a black belt, I saw.
Yeah.
Do you still know how to karate?
I've never called it like that, but yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. And it's important for my son to do it and my daughter to do it. I want all my children to do it. I started doing it at 4 years old.
Is that the only thing that you did? Because I saw like you wanted to fight. Like you wanted to show your skills.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to do something like that again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's such, the week after I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I already had a ticket to fly to Germany to film this action movie, this independent film that I've been trying to film since COVID happened. We were ready to go and then COVID happened. Then 2021 I was pregnant. And then 2022 I had a horrible postpartum anxiety that lasted almost the whole year. Then 2023 I was like, okay, we had everything set. The DPs, the costume, everybody was there. And then I get called into my doctor's office and she's like, you have breast cancer. And I was like, well, I'm supposed to go film. Like, is this something I can put off? And she's like, no, not this kind. So anyways, I took a very circuitous way to get back to, it would be fun to do fight scenes.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I've been super unrelatable lately and I've been working out a bit. Not a lot. Don't worry. But the point is, whether you're working out or not doesn't matter. You could still wear active wear workout clothes, and probably all the girls that you're seeing on the street looking all cute in their like, active wear, like they're just wearing it to get a coffee. Okay. One of my favorite brands to wear when I'm getting a coffee and pretending I just came from a workout is Rowback. And they just launched a brand new product and brought back two of my favorites, and you need them. First up is the Era High Rise shorts. These just dropped. They're everything. They're high rise. They're super lightweight, and they're ridiculously flattering. Whether you're going on a hot girl walk, heading to Pilates, or just doing errands but want to look like you worked out, these are your go-to. Also, they have a great new color. I'm into like colors now. You're welcome, Mom. Birdie Blue. Birdie Blue is here, and Rowback just released this color in the Sydney Skirt. We love a skirt, and the Everyday Active Dress. Let me tell you, it's the ultimate summer shade. It'll look so good with a tan. Also, the Everyday Active Dress is perfect for the I worked out but also have brunch plans look. It's breathable, it's flattering, and so easy to throw on and go. Use the code Amanda on rowback.com for a generous 20% off your first order through the end of this week. That's spelled Rowback, RHOBACK.com. There are a lot of things that come out of Australia. The Hemsworth brothers come to mind, Uggs, the Crocodile Hunter. The best people. Yeah, shout out my Australian followers. I freaking love you. You're funny. You're self-deprecating. You're cynical. You're sarcastic. And I love it. But sorry, because my new favorite Aussie export that's finally available in the US is the Koala sofa bed. You guys, the Koala sofa bed is so freaking comfortable. They use like mattress technology inside a sofa bed. Koala delivers Instagram-worthy color options, no sad beige or millennial gray hair. Oh my God, I feel personally attacked, you guys, but it's true. These are great colors that my mom would approve of. No Allen wrenches, no stress, and no tears when you're assembling. It's tool-free. Everything comes in a box and easily slides, clicks, or screws together. Koala sofa bed comes in 3 sizes to fit smaller spaces. They have fast shipping and free returns, which is so important. If you've been here for Couchgate, then you freaking know This is almost unheard of in the industry. It's so comfortable, you guys. Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available. To get up to $250 off your new sofa plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/Amanda. That's us.koala.com/Amanda to get up to $250 off your new sofa. Koala. Comfy, easy, sustainable. As you guys know, your girl is on a health journey, and I finally, through working with a nutritionist, understand like what are the food types that you need to be eating. You need to have in your meal like a protein, a fiber, and a fat, right? Protein is super important. I've learned that now. You'll find me snacking on pieces of chicken, and you'll find me drinking protein shakes because in Clean Simple Eats protein powder, there's 20 grams of protein in a single serving. And the thing is about Clean Simple Eats, it's so yummy. You have like chocolate brownie flavored, vanilla flavor, toasted coconut. So you can literally make like a milkshake vibe, but it could be as simple as a snack. You can make it like a hot chocolate. That's what I do a lot with the brownie one. And it's literally like you're sipping on hot cocoa, except it has 20 grams of protein. So it literally is so freaking good. Another product that I love of theirs, they have a clear protein powder that is like very different than any other protein powder out there because it's like a pink burst flavor. And like it sounds, it's like clear. It looks like you're drinking like electrolytes or something. Just so good. You just mix it with water and you get the 20 grams of protein. So you guys, it's delicious. It's the best. Clean Simple Eats, you guys, is the protein powder you should be going for. Visit cleansimpleeats.com. Use my code NotSkinny20 at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's cleansimpleeats.com. Code is NotSkinny20 for 20% off your first order. Link is also in the show notes. You're so fucking busy. Can we talk about that for a second? You've had just a few crazy years already.
Yeah.
I mean, you shared your cancer diagnosis, which was just so helpful. I mean, you posted the stats. How many people did you got so many people into like testing, into doing that?
It's gotten back to me that it was like a 4,000 increase in people taking the lifetime risk assessment test. And that it was like the 300% increase in people requesting mammograms. But that's all I wanted was for women to know about this test and start to be more forceful with their doctors about getting the test they need. I mean, we have to really advocate for ourselves. And thankfully I had a doctor who is so amazing, Dr. Alibadi, who was the advocate for me. She advocates for all of her patients. And without her, I don't know how far it would have gotten before I found it because I had a clear mammogram just at that moment. So I wasn't due for another year.
You were doing them since turning 40. Like that's what you do.
I did it. So I was pregnant at 40. And so I did it. I did my first one at 41 after I had the baby.
Oh, that was the first. Okay.
My first at 40 when I was pregnant, I did the ultrasound because you wanted to check. And then when I was able to do a mammogram after having my baby, then we got the mammogram. That was clear. And then I had another clear mammogram and another clear ultrasound. And then it was right around that same time when she sent me in for an MRI, and then I found out I had breast cancer. So it was a clear mammogram, and then she did this thing called the lifetime risk assessment test. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk about what's happened in my journey publicly is because so many women don't know about this lifetime risk assessment test. It's a free online test. It takes minutes. You don't even have to put your email in or subscribe or do anything like that. You answer questions like, how old were you when you got your period for the first time? Have you had any children? How old were you when you had your first child? Things like that. And it gives you a score. Anything above 20% is considered high risk, and high risk for your chance of getting breast cancer in your lifetime. And then you should ask your doctor to go do an MRI. And mine was 37.3%. So I had the clear mammogram, I had the clear ultrasound. Dr. Alibadi is doing the lifetime risk assessment test in her office right there. She says, you have a really high score. I want you to do an MRI. I said, okay. I thought nothing of it. I said, okay, just another thing you check off and it's going to be clear.
Right.
And then I went in for that MRI, and by the time I got home, I got a call from the radiologist saying, we found something and we need you to do an ultrasound now to double check it. I was in our dining room at that time. I remember just exactly where I was. And then John walks in from outside and he just sees this like look on my face. And I'm usually pretty, I stay calm with my emotions. You know, I think because I've had so many times in my life where I haven't been able to control my anxiety or depression or anger. And so I've really, like having children, you're like, okay, you have to really be like a baseline.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'm just feeling really afraid. And I just kind of knew that there's something, I guess, how you have that pit in your stomach. You're like, I just feel like it's something. And then when I got the ultrasound, the radiologist found 2 more tumors. And then they discovered there was an actual tumor in my left breast as well. And so, like, as they explained it to me, like, bilateral, both breast is unusual. Multi-quadrant, meaning in multiple quadrants of your breast. Multifocal, meaning multiple tumors and even in one quadrant of your breast. So I had multifocal, multi-quadrant, bilateral breast cancer with an aggressive type of cancer. And so it was like, it just floored me. And once I kind of got to a place where I'm like, okay, I think I'm past a lot of the hardest moments. I was like, women need to know about this lifetime risk assessment test, because without that, I would not have known.
Yeah. It's not like you went in because something was bothering you or you felt something.
Mm.
It was like a preventative.
Yeah. And then now, since I've talked about it, the amount of people I have heard and come up to me or send messages through like my agents or my publicist or through another friend. Through my doctor has sent me messages from patients who come in that have taken the lifetime risk assessment test and discovered that they had a high risk and then found out they had cancer. There's this
And
one.
that means early treatment, right?
Yeah, that can
better.
be the difference between having to do chemo or not. It can be the difference between having a path to fight this. It can mean the difference between living or counting your days. I mean, you just don't know. Like you can have there's certain kind of cancers that can double in size every 6 weeks. My cancer is a fast moving, fast growing, very aggressive cancer. And you can't, even the doctors, like they're looking at this, like, we can't really predict. Like, because I said, well, can I go just do this movie? I'll be back in a couple months. And they were like, we don't know how far it's going to go. And after they did my double mastectomy, they found an area of like a tangerine sized section of more cancer
Where
in my right breast. So like it was like
so that they couldn't even see.
so yeah, because and I don't know why, but that one was so the all the other tumors were stage 1. So the genesis is a stage 0. And it starts from stage 0, then stage 0 turns into stage 1. And then stage 1 can turn into stage 2, et cetera. And then they depend on if it makes to your lymph nodes, and it's a whole other ball game. I was stage 1, but all over my breast. And then this one tangerine size section was stage 0. I believe they can still find it because there's this CBS reporter, Allison Hall, who I recently got to know. She was sent off by her boss to take this lifetime risk assessment test based off of my story and was like, hey, just go. We film you doing this? And she's like, yeah. She's like in her early 30s. And they said, you have a high risk. And then she did a mammogram and they found out that she has stage 0 breast cancer. And she had a double mastectomy. And she told this whole story, which is amazing because I know personally like how many lives it saves by getting the message out. And she's so young. But so that's like she had stage 0. So she caught it so early.
Yeah.
But when they were doing they called the margins after they take out, when they take out a tumor, they take out the healthy tissue around it and they look for margins. And that's where they they keep testing to see, is there cancer here? Is there cancer there? And it basically took them out to like another tangerine sized section of my breast before we got to like clear margins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean you didn't have to go through any chemo or anything?
No, I decided to do a double mastectomy so I didn't have to do radiation.
Yeah.
And because it hadn't made it into my lymph nodes, is it a really aggressive cancer? So they basically were saying like, there is a form of chemo that we can give you. That's the option. Or you can do this full double mastectomy plus hormone suppressant medicine for 5 years. But either way, chemo or not, you have to do these hormone suppressants. So, I mean, we talked about a lot. John and I talked about like just the pros and cons of it. Like, when you feel like you're being really aggressive and really fighting something, you're like, okay, let me get all the weapons and I'll fight it with everything I have. But when doing chemo it wreaks havoc on your body and it can shorten your life in times that you don't even realize. It's really hard on your heart, on your body, and every part of you. And so I was like, well, I'm put that into my back pocket for like if I ever need it in the future.
God forbid.
God forbid, for sure. Yeah.
So you got the clean bill of health. How long after that? After this, how many you had?
5.
5 surgeries.
Yeah, the last one was an oophorectomy and a partial hysterectomy. So I took out my ovaries, my fallopian tubes, and my uterus.
Is that preventative?
Yes, essentially it was preventative because I couldn't take the medication that they were giving me. It was so debilitating. I'm still really exhausted. Like I spend a lot of time in bed or on the couch when I'm not out and about. And I'm really trying really hard to get myself out there and play. And all of my time is spent with my children if it's not working.
Yeah.
And I should make more time for my friends and going on girls trips and stuff like that. But
Do they try to get you to go?
yeah. Yeah. And I'm always like, I always feel so bad because I want to be able to coordinate it and do it and show up. But, when your kids are going through like emotional changes and stuff like that, you just really want to, I mean, for me, I want to like help them through it and not just disappear for like a week, and it could be just a weekend, but I don't know. That's a whole other story. But
Do you think that having Malcolm at that time made you handle it the way you did?
yes. Yeah. It narrowed everything for me. I was like, I have to stay alive. I have to be here. I have to fight as hard as I can fight. And
And like stay strong
mhm,
in front of him too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so little, he wouldn't have known. But there was when I came back from my double mastectomy, he said, Mama up, Mama up. He wanted me to pick him up. So I couldn't. So I kneeled down or I squatted down and have my, your leg where he can like use it kind of as a little bench. And I was
Yeah.
like, come sit here. And he goes, no, Mama, up, up. It's like he really just wanted to be. And that was hard. But
Yeah.
then that's when we broke our iPad rule. And it's like, come in bed.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And hang out with me. And, what was really hard was every time I found out more news, it just sounded worse and worse.
Yeah.
It was like, there's breast cancer stage 1. It's in 3 spots, but it's good. Wait, there's another one. Oh, wait, it's a really aggressive, fast moving kind. We got to move fast. We don't know if it's in your lymph nodes. We got to go check. Okay, you're clear. Oh, wait, no, there's a tangerine size section of more. And when I had my double mastectomy, it went from being what was supposed to be like a few hour surgery to a 10-hour surgery because I started bleeding out. Yeah. And bleeding out is I was bleeding a lot.
Hemorrhaging?
No, it's bleeding. John tried to explain to me. He's like, when you say the words bleeding out,
Yeah.
I think that means that you've died.
So
hemorrhaging, just losing a lot of blood.
Yeah.
A lot of blood. So that it went on for like a while. Yeah.
You're so strong. And
Uh-huh.
you sharing your story, I feel like, first of all, and this is don't be me, but I did immediately click the test when you posted it.
You did.
I did. Something distracted me because
didn't-
I get distracted very easily nowadays.
Yeah.
But immediately it was like, it's a no-brainer to do it.
Mhm.
And now that you're reminding me and you're reminding all of us, we need to fucking do it. And that's what's I love that you shared your story in general, but there's like a specific call to action here that
is
do.
that is my mission. That is really all I like. I want to be a good mother and a good wife and a good friend and sister and daughter. And I want to get this message out to as many women as possible so that every woman is just incorporating it into their, like, you get your pap smear, you find out your, lifetime risk assessment score, you get your mammograms, you get your MRI,
Yeah.
just like, it's just to be the thing that
you do.
Yeah.
I feel like more and more women have been coming out with their stories as well, like public figures and influencers, which scares me for a minute because I'm like, wait, are more people being diagnosed? But then I was reminded because I said something like that as like more people are finding out early,
Yeah.
and knowing because of information that you shared. So thank you for that. Like you're truly amazing, and everyone's recognizing that. You were named one of the Time Magazine's Women of the Year this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
This summer, you know what doesn't belong in your plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill, okay? Your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back from living your life. So that's why you should make the switch to Mint Mobile. You guys, it is time to say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you because all of their plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network, okay? You don't need to be paying, like, actually thinking about like the amount that I've paid in the past for wireless service, you're like, oh, 120, 100. You're like, what am I paying for? Okay. They have plans starting at $15 a month. And Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service, okay? It's the coverage and speed you're used to, just way less money, you guys. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/notskinny. That's mint, MINT, mobile.com/notskinny. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, and then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. You know those women who just look so effortlessly chic? You know that quiet luxury Sophia Richie look? Like those girls that throw on a sweater, sip matcha, and just radiate calm luxury. Yeah. Those women are probably wearing Jenny Kane. I finally got their cocoon cardigan and I am obsessed. I've never gotten more compliments. I've never been able to just throw on a cardi over like a white tank or tee and have it feel so chic, so elevated. And I totally get the hype now. All their stuff is neutral, minimal, but makes a statement. It's like wearing good taste. It's like Meghan Markle shops there. You know what I mean? Their stuff is so well made. It really feels like everything is a forever piece, not some trend that you spent too much money on and you'll hate it by next year. Also, Jenny Kane isn't just clothes. They have a home line, candles, pillows, throws, vibes. I lit one of their candles and suddenly my apartment smelled like I do yoga and meditate, which we know I don't. So if you want to elevate your wardrobe and kind of your identity too, find your new summer uniform at Jenny Kane. And my listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code NOTSKINNY15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order, jennykane.com. That's JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code is NOTSKINNY15. Let getting dressed be one less thing you have to worry about. This is such a funny story. We were in Florida. We rented a house in Fort Lauderdale that had a pool, and it was so fun and it was so great. And we just had a blast. So we had friends come over one day, and Noah has like klepto energy sometimes. And the friend left his swim trunks at our house. And Noah was like, "These are mine now." And I was like, "Well, actually, they're so cute. Like, maybe we will steal them." No, we don't condone stealing. I told the friend's mom, and then I looked at where it was from, and I saw that it was from Minnow. And I was like, "Okay, we need to get these for Noah." They just have such cute stuff. It's a family lifestyle brand, but they have clean lines, simple details, and just like a really beachy, breezy vibe. I absolutely love the boy boardies that I got for Noah, the gingham design, but they have also girls rash guard one pieces and unisex rash guard shirts. Every suit is super thoughtfully designed with comfort, performance, and protection in mind. They have premium fabrics that keep sand out of the lining, and it's just buttery, smooth, and super chic, super well made. And it's been featured in everything from Vogue to Harper's Bazaar. Go to shopminnow.com and enter code MEETMinnow15 at checkout to receive 15% off your first order. That's shopminnow.com. The code is MEETMinnow15 for 15% off. And Minnow is spelled MINNOW. You're welcome. You did this amazing show that you know I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Your Friends and Neighbors, by the way, you guys, if you haven't watched, sorry. We're going to spoil it. Spoiler alert. We can spoil it, right?
Yeah,
like it's been weeks.
Yeah. It's already out.
So season 1, something drew me to, I mean, you probably from the beginning. Because it was like, it's hard for me to like start watching a show and get into it. It really, I have like the few shows.
I know, I'm with you.
And this immediately was like Olivia Munn, John Hamm, Amanda Peet that I loved in all the movies in the earlier 2000s. She's back.
90s, yeah, something like that.
She's so good.
Yes.
Ugh, and you became friends with her, right?
Yeah, fast friends.
So getting this opportunity or this role, were you excited about it? What time did this meet you at?
It met me at, I can't remember the time, but I had not yet gone public about having cancer. And I had another big surgery coming up. And I had already made this decision that I was done with acting. And I was never going to be like posting about like this, I'm retired, I'm no longer, because I was always like, when people do that, I'm like, you're not like a baseball player, like no one's expecting you to show up to the game. Like
Yeah.
you're fine. Like, go live your life. So I would never have done that.
But you thought about that.
I told my agents and managers, I said, do not put me up for anything. I don't want to act anymore. Like just take it off the table.
And this was before the diagnosis?
No, this was after the
Oh,
diagnosis.
after, and because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had such horrible postpartum anxiety. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I put it at 100. And it's something that I didn't hear about. I was ready for postpartum depression, but I had no idea what was happening to me. And I have so much compassion and love for the moms you hear about in the news who are going through postpartum anxiety and do some of the most horrific things. And thank God I didn't have any thoughts of self-harm or harming anyone else, but there is just not enough understanding and compassion for what women go through after having a baby.
Yeah.
Like our hormones just drop.
Out of control.
I couldn't make any breast milk, and I tried because everybody was like, breast is best, Olivia. And I had friends who were really pushing me. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. You know what? Give him nothing else. You're giving him formula. Well, yeah, to supplement, like, 'cause I want him to eat. Nope. You can't do that. He will learn to eat. He will not let himself starve. I'm like, he is a newborn. Like, what? This is crazy. And I tried, and I was like, no. Like there was this 2-day period, and I had tried everybody. I tried every lactation nurse that my friends, like 3 different lactation nurses. I tried the
He
gummy.
was latching, but it wasn't coming out.
There's no milk.
So they get so frustrated with that too.
Well, he got lethargic and tired.
Because he was probably dehydrated.
Yeah. And then I told John, I go, hey, for the next 2 days, we're just going to power through this. And he's going to, and then he was like really supportive. And after the first day, he started noticing something, but didn't say anything to me. And then finally the second day, he was like, hey, I know that you've got this thing and I don't want to, he was really thoughtful about it. He's like, I don't want you to feel bad, but we're doing tummy time and he seems more cranky and he seems really tired. He's like, do you think it could possibly be this? And so then my pediatrician said, like, we had a scale. So she's like, you weigh him before you feed him. And then after you feed, still with the same diaper and everything, like, if he's peed or anything, just weigh the whole thing again. Weigh the whole thing, weigh the whole baby again. And he literally had like fractions of ounces more. So I stopped at that moment. I was like, fuck this. Everybody who's telling me that I need to do this. I'm like, every mother should be able to feed their child in whatever way they know is best for that child.
Yeah.
And like not feel guilty at all.
Yeah.
And people need to stop having opinions about how people feed their children. It's insane.
Well, people have so many opinions about, that's what I was saying before, about things that have to do with children. It's like people go insane too. Like their opinion is right. If they use this formula, that's the best one. If you use this, like the minute you share, notice this, the minute you share a mom related thing, that's when you'll get like blown up. That's when people really go crazy. So I can't imagine. And going through that when you're going through postpartum anxiety, how did you notice it? Were you clocking it like, okay, something's wrong, I should talk to someone?
Well, when I decided to stop breastfeeding, my hormones dropped. And I didn't know this for like a very long time, for like almost a year. Like after I'd even gone through the postpartum anxiety and got to the other side, I hadn't told my doctor that I stopped breastfeeding a while ago. And they're like, oh, that's a lot of times that your hormones drop and people go through depression and anxiety. And a lot of other women who are breastfeeding, they start to taper off. And I went from breastfeeding to not immediately. Yeah. And it was pretty soon after that I woke up at like 4 a.m. and my eyes pop open and I start gasping for air. And I feel this tightness in my chest. And it's like that every day for almost a year.
Like panic attacks then.
Every day my eyes would pop open at 4 and I would just be gasping for air. And there'd be some times when I have to death grip John's arm walking room to room. I wasn't thinking about anything.
Yeah, it was just your body doing it.
Yeah. But then
like
eventually
a physical thing.
And then eventually it like start to come up with stuff in my head. Like, what am I nervous about? What am I anxious about? And then just start creating scenarios. But
were you like the breathing, the SIDS? Like what were you
What was I worried about?
Yeah. I was like things about the baby.
It was the strangest thing. I just started worrying that I'm like, how can we afford to take care of him? And John was like, Olivia.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
No.
It's just
It was
funny.
even his mother was like, you have some good investments, right? I was like, yeah. She goes, did you invest in Uber? I said, yes. She goes, so your money's good? I go, yes, I know it's good, but I don't think that we can support this baby. Like I would hear what she'd say.
So it was kind of not rational at that
It
point.
was not rational,
Yeah.
but it like I could hear that it wasn't rational, but it didn't matter. I was
Yeah.
still like, it's still, it's so great. Here's the thing: as I reached out to my business manager, I said, "Can you give me the total of everything I have? Like, how much do I have? Include my my house or anything. Just like tell me how much I have." And when I saw it, my heart dropped. I was like, "Oh my God, this is." I thought I had so much more, and I freaked out. And it wasn't until like a year and a half later, truly, when I was like past this, and then on into breast cancer, and I was just like, I asked him like off the cuff, like, how much do I have like now? And he sent me, and it was like double what I thought it was. And he was like, wait, why did you think that? I go, because you sent this. He goes, no. And I just, my brain made me look at it differently.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wait. And he was like, yeah. He was like, what? And I remember being so panicked and having John in those early postpartum days when you're like, I can go out for dinner, and then you never do. You're like, that was dumb. Why did I go out to dinner? It's like, so you're like, I'm sitting there and I'd rather be home.
Right.
And I was like we were at this like Japanese restaurant. And I was just like, I can't, and I just I can't breathe. And I was like, I just don't think that I have the money to support this child. And he was like I couldn't hear anything that he was. I could
Right.
hear it, but it didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
How did he handle the anxiety part?
He was really sweet. He was like, okay, so what you're focusing on is money. He was
Yeah.
like, because at this point, we're not engaged. We're raising this child together, and we're attempting to have a relationship, for the first time in this whole dynamic. I had my bills, and I had my credit card, and he has his, and he's very, very, very generous, and he loves to take care of people that he loves. And in fact, when one time we were talking, and he was like, one of my dreams has always been to be able to take care of my parents. He's like, and it's just so frustrating. I said, why? He's like, well, because, like they're very successful. His dad is a partner of his law firm. He's very successful. And he was like, it's just, and I was like, okay, well, that bums you out. He's like, I just want to be able to, like tell my dad, hey, I got your electricity bill this month. I go, you want to get their electricity bill this month? He goes, I mean, just anything. I go, well, you're about to have a full Chinese Vietnamese family coming in, and you can pay for everything and they will accept it.
Yeah.
And so he just really, he's a problem solver. So
Yeah.
he said, so your issue right now is that you think that you're not going to have any money to take care of our baby. And I said, yes. And he said, I'm getting you a credit card, and everything that you want to get for the baby, put it on this. And he called the business manager, and he was like, every bill, like put it onto my bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did that help?
It did. It just made me go, oh, because I think I also felt alone.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm like playing therapist,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It's like maybe you felt like, okay, we're together, but we're not like together money wise yet.
Or
I'm a
even
single mom.
Mhm.
I'm supporting this child. Like,
Yeah.
but maybe
And
you
at the
were.
time, he was.
Because you know what a therapist once told me that is important? I'm an anxious person. Like I'm on medication. I swear by it. It's good.
Mhm.
Before, when I was dealing with my anxiety, and going to therapy really did help, because I would say, I just get panic attacks, but it's not about anything.
Mhm.
It's just like, and she said to me something like, I forget the number, but she would say, our brain is so fast that you can have like, let's say 3,000 thoughts that you didn't even process that you thought yet.
Mhm.
So when you're standing somewhere, you get a panic attack, you can't breathe, you wake up 4 a.m., can't breathe, don't know why, you haven't even thought about anything. You don't know, it's like register. You don't even have enough time. Your body is already doing the thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Like your body, like everything's, it's a weird way of like, it's all connected, but it's all playing catch up with each other.
yeah, like your body's already responding to what your brain thought, but like you're not even registering that your brain like.
Well, to that point, so I was having these thoughts, right? Where like a million thoughts at once. But at the same time that I was feeling this, John had this huge stadium tour, and he's like selling at Madison Square Garden 3 nights in a row, and the United Center. It's like everywhere. And I'm so happy for him, because him doing well is great for our family. But that meant I was kept keeping the family together. So we travel together. So the more I'm there with him, it means that I'm not working, making money. So I'm watching him get this confidence in like supporting his family and, and his career being so successful. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because my whole life I wanted to be an actor. And my mom married, my father and her divorced when I was 6 months old. She married my first stepfather, who's a horrible person, and he was in my life for 14 years, and he's really abusive. And then my stepfather now is amazing. But my mom used to always say to me when I was a kid, because she married my first stepfather, and he just kind of swallowed up any kind of independence that she had. And she'd always say to me, never just marry a man and become his wife. Always make a name for yourself. She would always say that phrase. So I worked really hard to, by the way, just because your mom says something doesn't mean that's what you do, because there have been relationships where I had really good relationships, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in this scenario in a relationship where you're like, whoa, how am I back in this thing that I grew up in that I really tried not to be in because my mom told me not to do this, but here I am. So I had to work through that. But I'm there now. I have a baby. My identity is completely changed. I'm a mother now, and
You're not fighting that. First of all, you had a name for yourself before. You did.
Yeah.
And you do. But you're not letting that like take up space anymore.
What?
Like the don't be somebody's wife.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's just what, when you're talking about the million thoughts at once, it was like, oh my God, I can't take care of my kid. Oh wait, who am I now? Oh wait, what are we doing? Oh, now I'm supporting him and what he's doing. I mean, is that what I want to do? I mean, he makes so much money. So if we're gonna pick one, if somebody has to work, it's
I saw you say that. If somebody has to. Well, you said that in an interview, I believe, like that you were okay with kind of because one of you wants to be with the kids, or that was kind of your goal.
There's a couple things. One is that between the two of us, like we're both in front of the camera, but John like loves to be on stage. Like that is in his soul.
Yeah.
And I love what I do and it's so much fun, but I don't like need it.
Really?
He just, he's so good at it. And he's like, and it's just something that he just, there's so much electricity. If you ever see him, have you seen him?
I haven't.
You and her husband should come. He's going on tour again starting in July.
We're there.
Oh my gosh, come on tour with me. Don't leave me.
Wait,
when I said come on tour, I mean come on tour.
Wait, but you said you're here till September.
Yeah. So he'll fly in and out places, then come back here.
But you're gonna join him on tour when you're done
through the
filming?
we're here through the end of September, and then we start. We go.
You're gonna go with him to all the
we have another home base in Chicago, and that becomes like the middle of the country. So we're able to like.
How are you with travel and like airplanes and jet lag and all that?
It's really hard with the kids. It's really
with the kid. Without the kids, you're chilling.
You know, the hardest part is like when you have timed everything and you get the flight that you're like, oh, this is the perfect because it's enough time for nap, and then it's delayed.
Yeah,
it's delayed, and
because you're like type A a little bit, right?
What is type A when
like
people
somebody
say that?
That's like that, like times everything out. If one thing goes like a perfectionist, kind of on top of everything.
I will tell you, I wish I was more of that. I'm like half that and half the other. So, so I can be like,
there's type B. Type B is a thing.
What's that?
Type B is like doesn't care about schedule. Like,
I care about
is late, comes 30 minutes before a flight. Like,
no, I care about a schedule, but I'm not always successful at, at achieving it or completing it.
Well, the thing about flights for me, because I don't like to travel, like I don't enjoy it. I mean, to the traveling part, not the vacation part, if it's fun, or the work part, but it's like, even if you're like, oh, it's a 3-hour flight. Okay, is it? Because I have to fucking pack for whatever amount of days, wake up that morning super early, take a car there, and it's like an hour or whatever, wait the like 2 hours. It's a day. It's a full day, even if it's a short flight. So I don't know how people.
Most of my time as a parent is spent carrying things. Literally, I'm like, like we want to go out for the day. You're like, well, you have a backpack of like snacks?
How are you with that, by the way? Because I'm the type B mom when it comes to that. Like my sister will always have the snacks and, oh, you want this game? This toy? I brought 3 because I knew Noah would be here, And I'm like,
oh my God.
Noah doesn't have a water bottle. Like I forget. So with that, like I'm trying to get better, and I'm so proud of myself if I pack like an apple, but I'm just not that mom.
John's that mom.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. like there's so many times I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta get the water. Wait, where's this water bottle? And he goes, Olivia, it's already in the backpack. I'm like, okay, well, what about the applesauce? Because my son is in that phase where he'll only eat like, the 10 things and nothing else if we don't have those things. And so he does all of that. So look, I have watched many an Instagram where those meals come out. They're so cute.
Triggering as fuck.
They make a little origami note.
Oh, so cute.
And
the fucking star-shaped bread shit.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I love those parents. I wish they were my parents.
Yeah.
Those moms are spectacular.
Yeah.
Truly. Look, I'm not saying that I don't think I'm a great mom, but that is another level.
That's another level.
Because I have friends who do that, and I know the kind of moms they are. They think about everything.
Yeah.
Like, the other day, it was Mother's Day, John was like, there's cupcakes with mom is what it's called. And so I thought that meant we're all baking together. But I get there to the school and I had.
Oh, it's cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. It was like his Mother's Day thing.
Oh, cute.
Cupcakes with mom. And so I came really proud that I had brought all my ingredients, like flour and sugar and eggs. And one of those little, like, I cut my, carton of eggs into like a 4 spots.
No.
I was like this. I honestly was like,
I'm so cute.
Yeah. Like, look at my little, I knew how to cut the carton. I thought it was cute. I know.
Cutting the carton and being proud would so be me.
Yeah. And then I get there and I literally see one mom walks over and she's got like this thing of cupcakes. And I was like, oh God. And then I look and then somebody else brings like.
Oh, you were supposed to bring the cupcakes
Yeah.
you already made.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it was? Cupcakes? See, I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure it was cupcakes.
Yeah. It was now, Olivia, if you can't remember.
But that's how I am. Like I can't. So anyways, I'm there and I have to like hide my ingredients. I was actually.
So did you pretend you just didn't bring anything?
No, when somebody put their dish down, I kind of pushed it in case anybody was seeing me. But I'll tell you, I know that it's funny now and I can tell the joke. And I told John like, oh, this is funny. But I will tell you.
You were upset in the moment.
In the moment right now, I felt like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, like what is wrong with me? Why can't I just even know what this is? Like,
yeah.
What is, because I'm there. I'm there with them all the time. I'm there with my kids all the time. Just some things that I don't.
But that's what matters. Like, honestly, I grew up with a single mom who couldn't probably make it to half my shit because she was working. And, but like the thing she did that I try to do with my kids, and I don't know if the emperor is feeling it or if it's working, but it's just like unconditional love. You know, that's what she always told me too.
So, so he had been having a lot of tantrums, right? Throwing a lot of fits. And so it started to subside when I had him to stay home and I would fly in and out so we could see John every day. But there was still a little bit of pushback. And then he had this field trip to Legoland. And
did you chaperone?
No, they didn't ask for chaperones. The teachers went as chaperones, but every parent can go. And I grew up with, my mom was, 5 kids. And so my mom was at everything, but I always knew my mom loved me. And I always kind of knew that my mom was like she went to the stuff, but she's like, I mean, we would draw her a picture and bring it home. And she goes, oh, that's nice. And throw it away. Like, I don't know how many, like everything that I drew.
But do you remember that?
That she threw it away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And I find it funny though.
Right.
But at
okay.
And at the time I kind of knew, I got a sense from my mom that because she loved me, but she was like, okay, great. Like this doesn't matter. And like, okay, but I didn't really hit me as much in a negative way. And so like John was like, hey, like it was the finale of his show. And he's like, I think you should go to Legoland with Malcolm. And I was like, but would he even know? Can I take him to CVS? And because I was like, it's more just that, like, would he even love it? Because sometimes we've taken him places where we think he'd love, and you know how it is, and they don't care.
Oh, it's like people taking their kids to Disneyland. I'm like, until Noah's begging, when he comes to me and says, my dream is to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I heard it's so great. I saw pictures. I'm not gonna willingly. I have friends going to do this in August, by the way. I'm like, are you okay? You're gonna fucking to me, that's like you're going to die. Like that's how I look at it. Dramatically.
I feel like you're literally going into like, do you want to get into the ring with your child? Are you ready to like UFC style this vacation? Is it because like I have taken Malcolm places or to like a kid's birthday party. We think everyone's gonna like it. And he literally is over at like the vending, like if we're at like a roller skating rink or like a trampoline park,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's like a vending machine.
Yeah.
He spends his time pushing those buttons.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I took him to Legoland.
Oh, okay.
I go, Malcolm, do you want to go to Legoland? And he said, yes. I was like, oh, okay. Because sometimes he'd just be like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. So he said, yes. I said, okay. And I took him there and he spent 99% of the time jumping in puddles. That's it.
Well, that's lucky because the lines are what makes it the worst ever.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't remember if there were lines.
No, there were. It was just he didn't want to do the rides.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you're like, but no, there was one, we got to the one boat when we got, this is it. There was a one little boat ride, like around this like little river they made.
Oh yeah, I know it.
And we get there, we wait in line, we get to the front and he goes, I don't want to get in the boat. And I go, Malcolm, come on. He's like, I don't want to get in the boat. And then I'm holding, I go, Malcolm, you do want to get in the boat. And now his arm is outstretched because he's running away. So it looks like I'm just like in this battle and parents are looking at me and I'm like, but then I don't know. I'm like, do I look like I'm a bad mom because I'm letting him overtake me right now?
Like, are you supposed to force him because he secretly wants to?
Yeah, or I'm supposed to be like, no, I am the parent and you are the child. Or do I look bad because I'm like, no, you have to come and I am the parent, you're the child. I literally looked at everybody and they were kind of like, I looked back and the parents all were like, I got that approval from them going like, yeah,
we get it.
And so then all he wanted to do was, there's that ramp going down to in the line, and there's like a little curb that holds like the bars. He just wanted to walk on that in between everybody.
Did you go alone?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You and Malcolm Day have fun at Legoland.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an undertaking.
But guess what?
What?
It changed so many dynamics in his temperament. He literally has been so happy.
It did really good for you.
I think that what I didn't realize was how, like, I'm a very stay-at-home mom. Like, activities at home, stay at home. Like, a lot of it's because almost all of it's because I've been so exhausted with the medication. The surgeries have exhausted me. There's a lot. And I really spend a lot of time on the couch with him or in bed and watching TV. And he really likes Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Okay, that makes me feel better that you're letting him watch it because Noah watches that stuff too.
But we think about how old are you? 38. You just turned
37. I just
37.
Turned. Yeah. Oh no, I was watching. Yeah.
But look,
I was watching Dirty Dancing at like 5, like doing the lift.
Gosh.
You know what I mean?
And all of his gyrating. Oh my God.
I was like this at 7, okay?
That's so like cute right now.
Doing the back. I'm like, why aren't thigh muscles like fucking, yeah. You're so right. Funny. It is true.
But I think that you should protect children's, innocence a lot as much as you can. But I really like those Spider-Mans. I enjoy it.
Wearing the costumes because Noah went through such a phase.
I'll show you a photo after this. He said, Mama, I want my whole family to wear Spider-Man costumes. So I have a photo of him and John and May all wearing Spider-Man. And he's so happy. We went to Legoland and there's this like inclined wall and he's like, I want to climb up. And then he just like laid his whole body against it. And he goes, I don't have sticky hands. John introduced the Spider-Man, the animated cartoon. And John's the one of like, let's get out of the house.
Yeah.
In fact, one time it was like really rainy, and then there's like a few days back last year when we were living up in Bedford, and Malcolm just really wanted to stay at home, and so it was like a couple days where I was like, but he wants to stay at home, let's be cozy, and I want to stay at home,
yeah.
And then John finally said to me the second day, he was like, I know what it is that I don't like. He was like, I don't want him to get bored, and I think that he's getting bored, and I was like, is he? Because I was so cozy.
By the way, that's really good for them. I'm just saying.
To be bored?
Yes. And I saw a psychologist say this, like them learning to deal with boredom is so important.
He was dealing with it by watching TV on the couch with me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what he's like, I don't want him to just kind of like experience life. And he's like, he's a kid, he should be out. And so he's the one who takes him out.
Yeah. Are you a homebody in spirit too before all of this happened?
Yes.
Okay. So that's like add some exhaustion and you're leaning into the couch.
Yeah. I mean, when I get home, I'm very happy when I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like being home. But I don't like being home and not having energy.
Yeah.
I like my friends to come over and like hang out and talk and And I just didn't have even energy for that. it's hard to it's been really hard to even have energy for my children, but I've changed my mindset. I was like, because I had this past year, I had to do this certain medication, and the first version of it made me really exhausted.
Mm.
The second one made me really angry, like just another level. It's such a short fuse, and then the third one gave me so much anxiety.
Oy.
And it was between the second and third where I confessed to John that, I mean, he could tell because I was getting angry a lot, but I broke down crying. Like, it was like on the plane back after, like, a couple days after my daughter was born. We're going back to California, and I'd just been holding it in for months. And I just said, like, I'm struggling, and I said, I need help, and I don't know if I can do this anymore. Then we went to the oncologist together, and he's like, we gotta figure this out. And he was really, really sweet because I felt like, this is what he said, because he's like, but you've been happy. Like, I know, he's like, I can see that you have a shorter fuse, but you're happy. Like, you were happy when May was born, and you're happy a lot. I'm like, yes, I'm happy, but I had my hand on a door holding back a monster the entire time. That's what it felt like. Like, I could be sitting here and be talking to you, and
Right.
you
You
know,
never
and I'm
know
like,
what's happening. And
yeah, and then I'm like, but it physically felt like there was like a monster trying to break down that door, and I had to like hold my hand to it because at any point it's gonna come in, and that's why I was like, I never was really living it super happy during that period because I was like so vigilant, and then when it come out, I'd feel like so frustrated that it came out. Then the next one gave me anxiety and really bad hives, so I've had to go back and pick one of those three.
like which, oh my God, lesser evil.
Yeah.
Anxiety, anger, exhaustion. Which
Mhm.
one did you
Picked
pick?
exhaustion.
Picked exhaustion.
hmm
So
So
now you're learning to like, okay, what can I do to make this better?
I just changed my frame of mind. I'm like, it's not good for Malcolm and I to sit on the couch and watch TV all day. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's okay. We're not like a no
Well, he's
screen
in
time family.
school.
He's in school,
Yeah.
but now it's summer.
Is he gonna do like a camp or something?
Yeah, he's gonna get into different camps. Your
Yeah.
kids go to camp?
Oh my God. Not soon enough. Like, well, not Lenny is a
When I was
baby.
a kid, we didn't go to, like, now you can put your kids in everything year round.
I know. I know. The thing is like, this is what makes me feel better because I do feel the guilt sometimes of saying like, what do I sign him up for? Like, so he's out of the house, right? But it's not for me. Like, if Noah, the type of kid he is, was down to like be bored a little
Mhm.
or come with me on my errands, like I fucking did with my mom
Mhm.
picking up her dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't taking me to Legoland. She
Uh-huh.
says now she's like, we went. I'm like, okay. I was like, I was at Bloomingdale's with you. And then I would drive with you
Yeah.
to here. And I would just drive with
Uh-huh.
you to the different things you
Yeah.
had to do.
That's exactly
Noah, are you
that's the
kidding
day
me?
out.
And it's our fault, right? Because it's what you do with your kids that kind of, but anyway, it's not because I'm like, get out of the house so I can chill. It's like, I wish we could be together all day and for that to satisfy you. But he needs more at this point in his
Mhm.
life. Like, he needs to be outside. He needs to run. He needs to play. He needs to like be with other kids. So I'm like, oh, he has a week between the end of school and camp. He's going to like a mid camp.
Mhm.
He's going to like a week thing. But it's good for him. Listen, at 8 a.m., he'll be like, what are we doing? Where are we going? He's like on the floor being like, I'm bored. And my cousin's
Mhm.
up. I'm like, oh my God. That's why I'm saying if Malcolm like knows a little bit to be bored, even if it's like
Mhm.
sitting on the couch, like,
Well, it is good. I mean, that's great advice because, like, I do remember being a kid. I remember being in church as a kid and being like, "It's taking so long."
but
Yeah,
that's the thing. We've
we had to
sat
go
through
every
things.
Sunday.
Oh, every Sunday.
Yeah, and it was like I remember just that we're waiting for like at the end where they give you donuts and apple juice, and you're like, and after a while you don't care about like it's not like this. It's not like Pavlov's dog. You're not like I don't care about the goddamn donut and apple juice. I don't want to sit in church.
But think about like how many times you went with like your mom to an event or saw like great aunts and uncles or family friends where you're like, ugh, but you sat through it. And I feel like,
That's what I know how to do now. Like,
mm,
there are events where I'm just like, "I can't believe that these people are in Hollywood because this is some poorly produced, not entertaining shit." And but you just sit there and I have the constitution to be bored
right,
and
to be
hold on
bored.
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and to be quietly annoyed.
And they need to go through like some of the shit we
Yeah.
went through, you know,
Mhm.
where I'm always so worried for him. Like, but he's going to be bored. There are no other kids his age there.
You're not gonna have anything funny to talk about.
Yeah. It's like, no, they can go through it. Well, I want to talk for a second about your friends and neighbors
Okay.
because you're filming for season 2.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. Any
Thank you.
veneers?
Well, it's my character, when I was approached by Jonathan Tropper to come onto the show, I had told him privately that I was going through breast cancer and that I didn't know how much I could really take on or what my energy levels would be. And he was like, you only have to sign on for one season. And so most actors have to sign on for multiple seasons, like 5 or 6, because if it's a big hit, they want to lock you in so you can't like go somewhere else and then like make them pay $1 million more for you just to keep you on the show. So I only had to sign on for one season. And it was like halfway through where he was like, will you stay on for will you stay on again for a little bit longer? And I was like, yes, it's such a fun show.
Yeah.
But then we always had the ending being what it is of this first season. So I was like, how does she get out of jail? Does
Yeah.
she go to prison?
Yeah.
What are we gonna, and then what's the storyline going to be? But he and Jamie Rosengard, co-writer, are like really talented writers, and we're just filming now. So I'm getting
The scripts as they go.
scripts. So I actually don't really kind of understand what's happening. So I actually had to call him the other day. I go, can you tell me a little bit about what's going to happen? And he
Yeah.
was like, you can't see it. I'm like, no, I can't. It's a mystery to me. I don't understand what's happening.
Well, I was shocked by the ending. I don't know if you know. Well, 2 things were huge plot twists for me, like how he died,
Mm-hmm.
your husband,
Yes.
your ex-husband, Paul, and also what John Hamm's character decides to do at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That pissed off some people. Did you feel that in the general vibe of the viewers?
Tell me
Like,
what they said.
people were like, when like a show, like you're so into it, it's like the ending pissed me off. Like,
Yeah.
they're like pissed off that he made that choice. That he would that instead of reuniting with his family and going back to the job, or he got it all, but he decides to go back to stealing.
Yeah, I can see how that's disappointing.
Yeah,
Like true. Yeah.
yeah, people were disappointed.
Yeah, I get that. Were you disappointed?
No,
Do you like that he went?
I
back
liked
to
it. Yeah, for me it was like, damn. I was like, okay, he might not get on the plane with the old boss. I get it. They wronged him. It's toxic. But I did expect to see I was like, is this gonna end like him going back to Mel and like hugging and all the families together and the kids? I was not at all expecting him just being like, because it's basically got away with something instead of saying, thank God I got away with it. Going back.
Yeah,
to
no,
it.
I definitely understand that point of view on it. Because also like from the feedback I got, a lot of people were really intrigued by the personal dynamics between everybody.
Yeah.
And the relationship issues and how we all interact together. And there was a moment for him to like, can we just see where this goes? Like, now you've gotten X, Y, and Z, and then you've gotten yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
Like, what happens? Like, can we just see what happens next? But I think that they will. I mean, again, I've only read a couple episodes, but I think that there will be some of that. I mean, I'm horrible about. I think there's some of that.
What's some of what?
Like, I think there's some of what they're asking for, but I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
I actually don't
Well,
know.
okay.
What did people think about how my husband died? And like, because I got a lot of DMs about like who killed Paul.
Yeah, everyone wanted to know.
Yeah. Do you think they would have rather like I killed Paul, or that he committed suicide and I staged it?
I don't know. What did you feel?
I liked the way it was.
I loved I know this is so fucking random, but here are 2 things I love about Olivia Munn before we go. 1, your teeth.
My teeth?
Yeah, I love your teeth.
You have great teeth.
There was not. They're all like fucked up.
That means a lot because there was a time when people were like, oh, she's got veneers. And I was like, some people go like, oh, it looks like you've got X, Y, or Z done. They go, thank you, but I haven't. I was like, veneers look crazy on people. So that's an insult to me. I'm like, I don't find that as like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. Even the richest, most famous people that you're like, you could go the best dentist in the world. And you're like, how did they end up with a mouth like that?
I've talked to a lot of people about this. And it's because people will say, oh, so-and-so went to this person.
Yeah.
And then they just think, okay, I'll go there, even if they see it's not good. And I'm like, what is going on? There's the same thing with
plastic surgery, probably.
Yes. There's this one person that.
Oh, here's the tea. Of course, at the end, there's some tea.
There is somebody in Hollywood who is on the public eye, but a lot of people, like big stars, listen to her about where to go. And you're like, why are you listening to her? Like, and they all go to the same person. And they say, well, so-and-so went there. And so-and-so. And then what happens is they all go to the same person and they end up all looking the same.
Yeah.
They have the bad veneers, or they have the bad,
Yeah.
injections. They have all that. So, the question is like, why wouldn't they find the best person? Well,
They think it's the best.
they all been told, and it's almost like hard. Like, I don't know why. I mean, but now Kris Jenner told everybody who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that looks good.
Yeah.
But keep your teeth forever.
I will always keep my
Okay.
teeth. Although I got them whitened the other day, and he was like, "You're getting to that age where you're losing enamel." It was devastating.
Wait, do you get the zingers from the teeth whitening? Because I don't do it because of the zingers.
What's a zinger?
See, you're so strong. You don't even know it. It's like you get like electric shock in your teeth after
No.
the Zoom whitening.
You
See, I'm
do?
such a fucking
Is your enamel thin and you hits your nerves?
probably all the things. The nerve, the this.
Well, your teeth are very white.
Ugh, they're really nice. I looked today in the mirror and I was like, gross. Anyway,
Do you fill your lips?
I don't
Have people asked you that?
all the time.
Yeah.
But all you need to do is like look at a baby picture of Noah and it's like,
Oh.
or a baby picture of me is like taking over or me pregnant. Crazy.
Oh yeah, when I got pregnant, it was like another level.
It was crazy.
Everything. I stopped counting at 60 pounds.
Wait, it's your birthday coming up too.
Yes, July 3rd.
45.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Weird when you said that.
I know you don't realize. Yeah.
No, I don't realize. I'm happy for every year that I'm here. I think of it as I've reached level 45. I'm
like on a game.
Yeah.
On a game.
I'm like, isn't that cooler? Being like, oh, you're on level 1. You're level 15. I'm like, I'm level 45 now.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm just changing my mindset. But I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I took a lot of emotional weight off my shoulders, and I love being a mom so much.
Yeah.
And I love the friendships I'm meeting with other moms. Like, it is just it's a bond.
Yeah.
That we share, and it's really like you make like these friendships like as an adult, and it's so nice because it's like immediately we could become friends.
Right.
And I like that because I'm at the age where I'm like, can we just be friends? Can we just like get to that, just be friends right now? Yeah. Yeah. When's your birthday? It was just
May
the other day,
31st.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the message. Missed it. No, just kidding.
Did you go on a trip to CVS and not invite me?
I did. I went to Turks and Caicos.
Did you?
It
I
was
did
my first
see
trip
that.
away from. No, it was my first time.
Where'd you stay in Turks and Caicos?
We'll talk about it.
She's so famous now. She can't even tell us, you guys.
Olivia Munn, can I tell you I love you and thank you for coming on? I'm like honored and you know this, but everyone should know this. I've been wanting you to come on for so long. So I'm truly honored and grateful that you finally did.
Well, it means a lot. We started following each other, I don't know, back when I started following you back when I had my baby, and you started coming up on my feed, and I just loved you so much, your whole energy. And then you reached out and you were so sweet. And you're like, whenever you want to come do the podcast.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about the stuff we would do for the show, I was like, it has to be with Amanda. I got to see her. I'm so excited.
I love
but
you.
You got to bring me back on. I know. Sit here and talk
Part
so
two.
much
Okay.
tea with you.
Okay.
I have so.
I know, but we had so much to cover because your story is so important. So,
Thank you.
But the next time she's going to come on, it's going to be like.
I'll come tomorrow.
Or like pop culture,
yeah.
like talk shit, that kind of vibe.
There's a lot.
I can't wait for season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbors. If you haven't watched, go to Apple TV, finish it in a week or less because you're going to be obsessed and binge it. And Olivia, you're so great in it. And we need to see more of you. And I can't wait to hang out with you in New York this summer.
I know.
Yay.
Tomorrow.